Sorry about that. Hello, everyone. This is Stephanie of YouTube Tips and More. Now, I do this channel to make YouTube a bit easier for the newcomer as well as the seasoned YouTuber. We all have a lot to learn. Now, tonight I have a wonderful guest. Let me see. I'm going to put the link in for you. You can click on this link here. Where is it? Paste it here. My guest tonight is Cathryn of Amateur Decorating Like a Pro. Now, I came on to Cathryn's channel years ago, and I was truly admired her because she has things so well put together. I mean, she looked like she was that a pro. I mean, her channel was so neat. Everything was together. It felt like she had no problems with YouTube. And I was in awe of her channel. So when I invited her to be on my show tonight, we got wires crossed the last time, and it was on me because I sent her a different date, and that was my mistake. But I know we have conversated today, and she should be on soon. Cathryn, if you're looking, I have the link over in the chat box. You can click on the link so I can add you into the show. Now, before Cathryn comes on, tonight's show is sponsored by, let me get it up so you can see. Come on, computer. Tonight's show is sponsored by $5 Jewelry Paradise. Now, if you're looking for some really nice styles, long-lasting jewelry at a really great price, then you ought to check out the $5 Jewelry Paradise. She has a large selection of jewelry. She has her website that she has an inventory at home, and she also has a warehouse website. So if you're interested in finding out some beautiful jewelry at a good price, check out Terry Donald at $5 Jewelry Paradise. Now, let's see. Is my guest here? Let me check my email. I want to make sure. Okay. I sent her the link. Want to make sure. Hey, Miss Lady, how are you doing? If you're watching, just chime in and say hello so I know that you're here. Oh, you have your new computer. Oh, where did you move to? Yes, I just made it back home. I've been home maybe 20 minutes now. We left here Friday and went with my husband to a Kappa event. So we just made it back in about 20 minutes ago. And I mean, the drive was long. Yeah, yes, this is a little tired. Oh, Columbia, South Carolina. Okay. You like it there? I've never been to Columbia, South Carolina. Have I been through South Carolina? I don't think I've even been through South Carolina. But, or have I? I don't know. I can't remember. My family and I, we used to travel for family vacations. We'd take a week family vacation so that we could all, be together. We like spending time together, so we would take a family vacation, and imagine it's 24, 25 of us, and we're all in the house together, and each family household has a day to cook breakfast and cook dinner. We like it. We have fun. We're gonna start it back up here. The pandemic kind of shut everything down. There she is. Well, everyone, my guest for tonight is someone I truly admire, as I said. And when I asked her to be on the show and she agreed, I was running around the house screaming, "Ah, she agreed," because I admire her that much. So I'm going to add her to the stream.
Hey,
Hello,
everybody.
how are you doing tonight?
I am doing great because I finally got on. I don't know what's going on technically me that much, but I literally had to program to get on here. But I'm so thankful that you chose me. So I'm just honored to be here. This is my first time doing this. Yeah.
Yes,
So thank you.
really?
hmm
Wow. Okay, I
I'm
have
kind
my
of low key on
questions.
this platform. Now, see, you didn't send them to me, and I'm really squeamish
That's I
about
know.
answering on the spot, but okay.
You're gonna handle it. You're gonna get it. You got it. Okay, first of all, how did you come up with the name for your channel?
Well, I decided that I wasn't too sure about the decorating aspect and coming out of corporate. It just seemed like, I was trying to decorate our house on a budget, but I didn't quite have the skills for the decorating aspect. I know
Hmm.
retail, but some of the principles from over there needed to come over here because now it's a house. And I've always had
Right.
projects and stuff that I did not share with people in every place that I live. So I figured let's just be honest and talk about the level that you are. And again, it's a phrase. It's not I am. It's just a phrase. Amateur decorating like a pro. Whatever you're going to do it with excellence. Do your
Right.
research, figure it out. Don't just slap something up there. Just do it with excellence. So that's how I came up with it.
Okay. So, let's see. What brought you to YouTube? Like you said, you wanted to show more, let people know more about what you're doing. Hi, Kimberly.
It's Kimberly.
You're frozen.
Out there. Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm in a military zone. So a lot of
Okay.
times there are like little spurts where they just make sure you're not doing anything anti
Right.
government. So you kind of have to watch out for that. So, um, what brought me to YouTube was decorating our home and wanting to share what I knew. And I didn't really plan on ever being on YouTube. I'd seen other people and I just
Mm-hmm.
decided, well, I'm decorating our home on a budget, and there may be somebody out there just like me. You just figuring it out. So that's what brought me
Right.
to YouTube. My first uploads were horrible. If I did a DIY, I'd say, okay, lay out the boards. That was a video. Then I'd say, hey, sorry about that buffering, guys. That's just
That's
where I
okay.
live. Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw my first videos, they were horrible. Really horrible. Okay, let's see. If you wanted to change anything about your channel, what would you change?
I would change I would not change the title. Let me say that because people have said to me, looks like your stuff is so advanced. Why don't you
Hmm.
just change the title? It's not who you are. And I say it's a phrase, it's not a
Right.
title. So what I would change is more of the instructional pieces. Be more thorough with that because I think it's important to tell exactly how you're doing something versus just sticking up a video and then you get all these comments back.
Right.
And that's something I just started to do more within the last 2 years, is be more detailed and cater to that audience that wants the details, not the ones that don't care. Because I've had
Right.
people to comment and say, I wish you would shut up and just do this and this and this. Well,
Right.
that's not my
But
audience, so I just
that's
move
it.
on. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. How long have you been on YouTube?
Since 2014. Yeah, that's the
Wow.
year we bought our house in 2013, and I started to post videos in April of 2014. And I am, let me say this to you all who are listening, I am the most inconsistent poster out there on YouTube. And now it's a whole lot better. And one of the things that is required to be successful on this platform is consistency and be
Yes.
unique. And I have been very inconsistent. And now that I am more of an empty nester, semi, with the exception of one who's home for like 2 days out of the month, 2 to 5 days, I am more able to post and do the content that I want to produce.
Mm-hmm.
So, consistency and having a niche and being confident on camera. Um,
Right.
as as you already know, I am a carrier of vitiligo. You already know that.
Yes. Yes.
So, and that was something at first I was squeamish about putting out there because people insulted people so much in the
You're right.
2014,
They
15.
do.
They insulted skin, hair, teeth,
Yes.
everything. Somebody said, "You need a bang. Your teeth are crooked." All this. I was like, Jesus, what in the world? But I did not, but I did not let that stop me.
Right.
And because when you're trying to do something full time behind the scenes, that takes over my life. I
Right.
am married to a pastor. So when someone says there's a death in the family, there's sickness,
Right.
come,
You have to go. I
I just shut
understand.
down.
I
And that's
understand because my father's a minister, so I
right.
totally understand.
Right. So you just have to shut down. That's your calling, and
Right.
you want to do it with excellence. You do not want to give God anything less than you would give anybody else.
That's right.
And he's a redeemer. So
Yes.
anytime that I'm away, whenever I come back, he's just flooded me with ideas
Yes.
while I was away, as if I was sleeping and dreaming, so I can manifest those things here on YouTube. So if I'm talking a lot, you got to tell me, because I've had coffee and
You
you kind of messed
fine.
me up with this time of day.
You are fine. Who was the first YouTuber you ever watched?
At home with Nikki.
I think everybody is the same
At
thing. That's
at
what I
home with
watched.
Nikki.
Yes.
Nikki was teaching DIYs with Dollar Tree pieces for organization.
Yes.
She was talking about those military days, and wherever she lived, she just made the
Right.
best of it. And that was
Right.
inspirational for me. And the first interior decorating I watched was Tamala Bowie of Holt
Okay.
Design. She was the very
Right.
first one.
Yes.
So I started to see people doing things, and they were basically being humanizing the whole
Right.
aspect of decorating. They weren't making it way up there where you couldn't do it in your
Right.
house. You know, they
Right.
were making it, put it down here, you can do it. And when you advance, then you move it up there. So
Mm-hmm.
those are the
You're
first
so right.
ones.
Let's see. Would you start a second channel?
I did start a second channel. And this, listen, again, with the inconsistency here, it was about maybe 4 years ago, and it was called DIY Body on my weight
Yes, it
loss
was.
journey.
Yes,
And
it was.
believe it or not, it's I think that channel still probably has about 700 and something subscribers. And here's the funny part about that. I would take strolls and walk, and I would talk to people
Right.
inspirationally while I was, filming. And I was talking about being consistent with my weight loss. Then I got sick. And I was like, really?
Yes.
Really? Now you can't
Yes.
walk? So, and so basically I shut that channel down and I left all the contents out there, but my testimonies and stuff, it's still out there.
Yes, it is.
And that's my next thing, is to incorporate that over here, because I realize YouTube, it's difficult to monitor two channels and do it
Yes.
very well. It's very,
Yes,
very difficult.
it is. It can be difficult.
Yeah.
Now, I need you to name me your top five YouTubers.
A Blessed Home with Kimberly Davis, Living Luxuriously for Less,
Okay.
Of course, At Home with Nikki.
Yes.
Now, I really could give you about 15, but you're putting me in a spot because someone will get mad if I leave them out. And so I've named 3. Um, and only reason I'm silent is because it's so many, and I refuse to answer. I refuse to, and let me tell you why, because there's so many people
They
out
are
there
not.
that
Yes.
bless you so
Yes.
much with unique content. And it blesses my soul to see people like Style by Kira, to see
Yes.
Glamorous Penny Pincher, to see these people just
Yes.
do it. And I'm not trying to play favorites, but I'm simply saying that there's a plethora of African American women
Right.
who are underexposed on this channel, on this platform. And one of the things that YouTube is doing is they are focusing on women of color. And I
Yes.
know I don't know if you know this about the whole crown and glory aspect that they're
Right.
doing
I've
right
heard
now.
about it. Yeah.
And about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we sat on a webinar, and it was all about African American women, women of color on this
Hmm.
platform. And we were allowed to speak and to listen and get into pod groups and exchange information to enhance how we would grow our channel. Some people knew a lot of people knew very little, like myself.
Hmm.
And what we shared was the importance of knowing who we are out there,
Right.
because there's a lot of insecurity. I don't care what you put on this platform. Behind the scenes, away from that camera, you've got questions about,
Yes.
is somebody going to like it?
Right. Are they gonna
And
like
I
it?
don't
Is
I
it
don't care how
gonna?
confident you
Yes.
are, but they are working on that aspect. So shout out to the Crown and Glory
I'm
piece
glad.
that's coming out there. And what we have to do on the other side of that is we have to support each other. And
Yes.
the challenge of that is, when it comes to African American women or women of color on this channel, we put people in a segment or a category. And we
Yes.
won't just in general say, I'm going to hit the subscribe button, because that sister, I like that she
I
ministered
like what
in,
she's doing.
whether
And
in,
I do that.
exactly. You
Yes.
won't say, well, maybe 10% of what I heard was encouraging to me. That 10% to me is worth hitting that
Right.
subscription button. You
Right.
may not like her decorating style, but did she minister to you in
Yes.
some form or another?
Right.
And I get a little agitated about that, and I take it personal. And that's one of the things I try to do, is to have the content that
Hmm.
ministers to somebody enough to say, that one sentence changed my life, and
Yes.
I'm going to do this better or that better. And that's my whole premise. There are channels and that I would not let you box me into, to name about, I could name 50 channels out there that I watch on a regular
Yes.
basis, whether I comment or not.
That
And I
I
love
agree.
and I love to spotlight us. I love to do that. I'm
Yes.
not prejudiced. I have an audience that is mixed, that love me for my age, that love me as a parent, that love me for, my position spiritually,
Hmm.
and that's okay. And so therefore, I just lunge into that, and I don't worry about the rest.
Right.
So they are working on that, but we have to do our part. We
Yes.
really have to do our part. Our young generation needs to understand that just because you put it out there, you can't just say it any kind of way and throw it out
Right.
there, because there's a lot of you. And just like I've gotten older on this platform, then there's somebody coming up behind them, and
Right.
and it keeps going. It's a circle of life.
Right.
So you've got to have your best person forward at all times. That's
Yes.
how I see it.
I agree. Now, what is your favorite movie?
Oh gosh. I watch so much stuff. And I listen, I'll lock in on something and watch it on a repeat.
Girl, I do the same thing. My husband said, how many times are you going to watch that movie?
Okay, I'm not gonna say. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I've been watching lately on repeat. Kingdom Come. Do you remember
Yes,
that?
that's a funny movie.
I
I
have
like
been
that.
watching that movie, and I've
I
been
like
watching the low down dirty shame. Watching that movie. You know? I like that part when she says, "I can wash off all that Maybelline." I was.
I
I've
like
been
when she
watching that
say,
stuff.
I like when she tells her, "Give me a perm, Miss Peaches. Last time you got me food, girl."
I like it. And when that's the stuff I watch when I'm
Yeah,
in the garage. I have a small TV in the garage when I'm out there painting and building stuff. That's what's always on in the background. It's on repeat. And my husband said, "You have that memorized." I said, "It's just funny." And I
it's
live for certain
funny.
parts of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what's your favorite color? Blue.
Next question. Next question.
What
It's blue.
household chore do you hate the most?
I hate cleaning bathrooms, but I have to.
I know what you mean.
I hate cleaning bathrooms, but being the mother of 2 boys and a husband and this house of
Yeah.
testosterone, I hate cleaning bathrooms, but I have it where it's like once a week and then like in between that go in and tidy up. I just
Mm-hmm.
can't stand a messy bathroom. I just can't. But that's like first on my list to clean every week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I know you're married, but how long have you been married?
9 years and probably let me see, we're going into 6 months.
Okay.
Mhm.
And what piece of advice do you wish someone would have told you when you first started YouTube?
I wish, like the structure, how to do the videos,
Mm-hmm.
and to how to really lay them out where they tell a story.
Right.
I wish someone had taken that had done that for me. I remember sending an email, to about 5 or 6 YouTubers and, that I had watched on a regular, and I said, "Will you give me some advice?" And, I got some advice I wasn't receptive of. And then I got some advice that made me cry.
Hmm.
And it just said, you keep going. I love your content. You're starting out like me. This is how I struggled. And they were so candid in, how their channel had been taken away and they rebooted, they started and they just rebuild. And now this person is on a national platform,
Wow.
internationally.
Wow.
And from time to time they just send me a one-liner. Keep going. I'm still watching. And
Wow.
that to me, it was like, God, thank you. Because all I needed was the power of
Yes,
one to
that's
say it's
one.
okay, to
Yeah.
say it's okay to keep going. And that's the thing. And you may not get a good reception if you reach out to people. You may not get the
Yes.
information that you want, but God always has a ram in the bush
You always
that will
have somebody that comes
somebody,
and gives you
somebody.
that little bit you need to
Yeah.
get you going.
Yeah. And that
Now,
was my blessing.
this is something that I saw that I was blown away with this article in the Home and Garden magazine.
Oh.
Now, when I got the magazine in the mail and I opened it up and I said, "Oh my God, I know her."
God is good.
So, how did you feel when they called you about doing the magazine?
At first I didn't think it was real because you just it's so much fake out there. I did not
Yes.
think it was real. And the moment when I was creating those, I had kind of just checked out and I was just moving and I could feel that God was up to something, but I didn't know what.
Hmm.
And I'll just tell you that because I pray about my projects. I really do. And I was doing that project and then I just let it go. And I got this email from Better Homes and Gardens saying, "We've seen your project, blah, blah, blah." And they had read about it on my blog. And I was like,
Hmm.
the blog that I thought nobody was watching. So that just goes
Right.
to show you guys, if you don't think people are watching what you do, they really and truly
They
are
are.
watching what you do.
Yes.
And they may not comment, but they're watching. And then suddenly you just get that blessing coming your way.
Hmm.
So keep going with whatever it is you're trying to do. So I got that, and it took about 10 months to get it going. The free
Okay.
email came in February, then March, it was a cancellation, the pandemic hit, all of that cancellation, and it kept going back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. So finally, with the pandemic fully in place, when they came to the house, I was like, this is going to be like, just take a picture and leave. That photo shoot took about 6 hours.
Wow.
But you ought to see those few pictures. It took about 6 hours.
Wow.
They are at your home all
Wow.
day, and they're submitting pictures to California and Iowa, wherever they're based. And there's a person out there, the photo editor, and everybody else has to approve it and say, or either go back and get some more shots. And then I was like, "Oh, okay, okay,
Wow.
yeah." They come in and they tape your furniture off and they slide furniture out. They pin your chandelier to the ceiling. They do all of that. Yeah.
Wow.
My makeup artist didn't come, which is what I was promised, but I may do. I wanted a makeup artist. I wanted to feel that validation.
Yeah, sit there in the chair and just feel like royalty.
Oh,
Yes.
glam. Where's the glam girl?
Yes. Because I love watching your channel. I really do.
Thank
I
you.
have watched you for so long. I have watched your channel. And like I was telling my sister the other day, I was saying, I really admire her. I said her smile, I said the tone of her voice is so calming.
Oh,
If you
Jesus.
are not at ease about anything and she talks to you, it's like a calming spirit. I said,
Thank you,
I
Jesus.
really, truly admire this woman.
Thank you,
And to
Jesus.
have her agree to come on my show to answer my little goofy questions, I said,
Mm-mm.
that means a lot to me.
There are no goofy questions, and I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to be here. You're worth it. I'm worth it. And look at God putting us both
Yes,
together. So that's what
yes,
it's all about. There's no little channel out there. There's no little channel. I've seen God take channels that had 800 subscribers and
yes.
make that person a
Just
talk show host.
blow up. Yes,
And they had no background in it. So if
yes,
you're out there, stop saying that my channel's a small channel. There is no such thing, because favor is grand. God's
yeah.
favor is huge. So stop saying that.
I do remember when you contacted me and asked me, did I have vitiligo?
Hmm.
And I told you, yes, I've had it for years. But when I moved to Houston is when it spreaded
Hmm.
so much.
Hmm.
And my pigment is fighting it. So instead of me having blotches, I
Hmm.
have polka dots.
Hmm. Hmm.
And my granddaughters call me the polka dot lady. So
Back when I started YouTube in 2014, people were vicious about vitiligo.
yes.
They
Oh,
were absolutely
I have
vicious.
gotten some comments.
Yeah, I had an outbreak on my hands, so I had the white spots coming up,
Hmm.
almost like I was doing a spider web on my back of
Right.
my hand. And somebody made a comment, "You need to put makeup." It was people were vicious, and
Yes.
as strong as I thought I was, because I got my first spot in 2006. It was on the inside of my left thigh. It was about the size of a dime,
Hmm.
and within 3 weeks, it exploded like fireworks. It just
Yes.
exploded. And that's how it is. So I started doing research, back before Google did not have all the information. So I have
Hmm.
files and notebooks on the subject. And I started to find out that it was in my family. And,
Yes.
it had skipped, normally skips
Yeah,
one
it skipped
generation.
one generation. You're
It
right.
skipped two. It skipped
It
two.
skipped it skipped three generations.
Hmm.
My great aunt had it.
Hmm.
She had turned completely white.
Hmm.
Two of
Wow.
my great aunts, two
Wow.
sisters,
Mhm.
they had turned completely white.
Wow.
Nobody after them for three generations. And then
Yeah.
boom.
Boom. And it just comes on you. And people, now that there are models and people
Right.
advancing careers who are being sought out to hit the
Hmm.
runway because they have, the hyperpigmentation or
Right.
full-blown vitiligo. And basically people are seeing it more as that's just who they are. It's more
Hmm.
acceptable. But when you and I hit the scene, people were brutal. They were
Oh
very,
yes.
very
They used
brutal.
to
And
point at me
mhm,
and make comments. And
mhm,
I've even got a comment from somebody when I was doing makeup,
mhm.
told me that I need to stop doing makeup and worry about covering, find something to cover my whole body
Right.
because my spots were, how did she say it? She said that they were offensive,
Shame on her.
told me. And I
Yeah.
was like, wow. I said, God
Mhm.
bless you too.
When you use it as a ministry now, because when I see people who have it and don't know what it is,
Hmm.
I go up to them and I say, "Have you uh, determined that that is vitiligo?" Because it could be
Hmm.
something else, eczema, something, and then they
Right.
say, well, we've got some treatments for eczema. And then I show them, my elbows, my birthmark went
Mm-hmm.
completely away. And now my birthmark is back. And the body remembers exactly
Yes.
how God made it.
Right.
It totally remembers every single cell and it puts it back together.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so enamored of that because I said, God, what do you want to show me? He said, you are marvelously made. So you got to
Yes.
understand that you are unique. And I'm
Yes.
putting you back together exactly how I designed you to be. Don't start me to preaching over here, Stephanie. So, but it was such a blessing to see that miracle on my body. And
Yes.
then God sent me a godly husband who didn't see it as something that was an insult, you
Oh,
know
yes. Yes.
and where I don't have to worry about, oh my God, my wife has
If I
spots. I
got
don't
to
want no
cover
woman
this
like
up,
you.
do I
You
got to
can't,
make
you're not
sure?
gonna wear a bikini, you're not gonna be
Right.
half naked all the time. And
Right.
we have to cover that area because it's very sensitive to sunlight.
Yes. I burn
So I
so
mean, we're highly
easy. Oh,
susceptible to cancer
yes.
because of the pigment loss.
Right.
So learning all of that about my body, I still live an amazing life. I've lived at the beach
Yes.
for 5 years. I don't know why God sent that way, but he sure did his work up there. Put me on the beach. What? The beach, the ocean's like a mirror, and I'm not supposed to be up here being
Yes.
mirror. What? But he did his thing, and I'm just so thankful. But you and I, we are unique, and that's
Yes.
when something that just we have that makes us special.
Yes.
So we can smile about it and say we are a miracle because it's
Oh,
just a
yes.
spot, honey. It's just a
Because
spot.
my
We
husband,
understand.
my husband told me, he said that the spots of discoloration wasn't a problem for him. He said he thought it was so different. And he said he loves every little spot.
That's what
But
my
my
husband said.
grandbaby, she found a spot on her foot and she ran to me. She says, "Look, Minnie, I got a spot
People do
just
that
like
to me all the
you."
time.
She is looking for one.
I've got people in church who come up and pull their little dress up and say, "Look at my leg. Is that vitiligo?" I'm like, listen, the benediction has been done. Okay, would you just go home? Stop sending me pictures of body parts. I don't need
I
that.
know it. I mean, my dad, we was preaching one Sunday, and in Sunday school, they got to talking about, they call it the Michael Jackson disease.
Yes, I heard that too.
And they were saying that it was a fake. There was no such thing. And my father said, yes, there is.
Yes, it is.
And they were like, no, he made that up. Don't nobody have that. And just as they said that, I'm coming in the door.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, there's no Michael Jackson. There's no such thing as a Michael Jackson disease. And I said, no, because it's not called the Michael Jackson disease.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, how do you know? So I pulled my skirt up and showed them my legs.
Uh-huh.
They're like, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
it is real. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
yes,
Yes,
it's
it is.
real. I'm polka dotted.
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
had a guy tell me years ago that he wouldn't date me because he was scared he was going to catch it. And I was telling him, I was like, really?
Worse.
I was like, do you read books?
But the Michael Jackson disease was the main phrase that I would use to describe it to people because they
Yes,
wouldn't understand it's vitiligo,
yes,
pronounced as if you're saying little igo, but it's
yes.
vitiligo. And they didn't understand that. So I would say the Michael Jackson disease. And I say,
Yes.
oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I would just wish I had his money, but okay.
I know that's right. And I remember when I was little, my great grandmother called me in the house and she mixed some stuff together and it smelled horrible. And she rubbed it on my face and neck and made
Mhm.
me sit there. And I was upset. You know, you're 9 years old. This stuff
Uh-huh.
on your face stinks. Get it off of me. And then when she
Wow.
wiped my face off, in a couple of days, the spots disappeared.
Right.
And
Wow.
look, and I said if I'd had the right mind, I'd
Uh-huh.
had her write that down
Uh-huh.
to tell me what she did in order
Whatever
for
it
her to.
was, whatever she mixed, had a combination, probably, if it was from green plants and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember, probably at an olive oil base, or maybe even a crushing of vitamins because it is a B12 vitamin C deficiency
Hmm.
in your body and some portions of iron as well. And you're anemic in some form. That's what
Right.
I have
I
learned
am.
about
I
my
am
body.
anemic. Yeah,
Yeah,
I knew
I've
that.
learned that about my body. So, having learned that, my first turnaround for repigmentation was after I became a vegetarian for about
Mhm.
5 years, cutting out meats and anything that had a lot of toxins in it,
Uh-huh.
even doing a little tofu moment here and there. But detoxing, that really helped. So when I started to see like red spots is an indication that you're going to get a
Right.
freckle, meaning that you're going
Right.
to get your
It's
pigment
gonna
back.
change. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I started to do that consistently, it started to reverse. And then also applying a cream called Protopic,
Right.
mixed in with Vaseline on your body. So what
Mhm.
people don't understand is what it is a trying process. You go to bed at night, you have to put that cream on, you
Mhm.
know, and then you got sticky PJs and all this kind of
Yes.
stuff.
Sticky sheets.
So
Everything is sticky.
it is
Yeah.
yeah, it is a major lifestyle.
Yes.
Even going out trying to find a cotton bra because you can't have latex on your skin.
Oh,
It
God.
was a lot.
Oh, I thought I was going crazy. You just start to rash out, and I'm
Mhm.
like,
It was like,
it's so
oh, can't
much.
do it.
It is
Yeah,
so much. And then when I discovered it was messing with my hair,
yeah.
I was like, that I have that and oh, what's the other one? I can't think of it.
Alopecia.
My mind is blank. I woke up one morning and I did like this, and my hair was in my hand.
Yeah,
And alopecia. I have
alopecia.
alopecia and vitiligo together in
Mhm,
my hair.
mhm,
And to get up and see your hair in your hand,
mhm.
that was so heartening.
It
So
was
I was
hardening.
terrified to go outside. I
Yeah,
didn't want nobody to see me
yeah.
because I'm like, I'm a freak of nature now. My hair is coming out. I'm broken
Right,
out. I've got plugs missing in my head.
right.
I was like, it's just too much.
Wow.
Too
And
much.
look at you now, but look at you now. Now you're sitting in front of a camera,
Yes,
you are confident,
yes,
and you
and
know what God has done, and
yes.
you feel like, hey, there is
He has
nothing I
brought
cannot do
me
with or
so
without
far.
this. Exactly.
No
He
one
uses
really
it.
knows
Yeah,
everything. He has
yeah,
brought me through some valleys and some tunnels and some dungeons, and
yeah.
he's brought me back out to where
Yes,
I've met my husband. We will
yes.
be married 6 years.
Yay.
Yeah, this year to be 6 years that we've been
Congratulations
married.
in advance.
Thank you. And we will be together 8 years. We'll be together 8 years next week. Yeah. So this man doesn't mind my spots. He
Yeah.
doesn't mind my quirkiness, but he did tell me no more dishes and no more glasses. He said I cannot buy any more dishes and no more glasses. I have enough wine glasses. He said when we move, we are in the process of looking for a home to purchase,
Uh-huh.
and we should be moving hopefully by the end of July.
Mhm.
And he made me promise that I can't buy anything else until we
Good,
move. So
good.
I'm not buying anything. I'm working on that. Not
Right.
buying anything else until we move. And I'm just grateful because so much things have come and happened. And then for us to be at this point now that God has showed us a different way about going about it and getting our home
Yay.
is wonderful. And I'm
That's
I'm
amazing.
excited. And while Tamara is there, I seen her pop on. Tamara, the second package came today, and I have the big box. And I'm gonna open them when I get off of here. I'm excited to open it. I had the big boxes. I've been not opening. I've been waiting for the other one. I promised I would open them together. So I'm excited.
Okay, so that's a video, right?
Yes, it is. It's a video because I want to advertise for my sister.
Absolutely.
Here she
Absolutely.
says, Catherine, I really enjoyed your college grad first apartment tips.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
The
so much.
entire playlist was great. You know what? If I turn on some of my favorite YouTubers and remember something they did, I go back and look at old videos too.
Mhm.
That was some I'm like, oh, I remember she did it like this. Let me see how she did it. Let me go find that video.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I have done that because I showed my sister your blue plates because she loves blue too.
Mhm.
And she's like, "Wow, I got to try that. I'm on." She saved your video, so she said she's going to play in the paint in the water and try to make hers. So I told her
Awesome.
she could do it.
That's what it's for. It's just to encourage people to do that. And
Yes.
a lot of times with the stuff that I try to create is the upper class already has access to it,
Yeah.
and they have basically paid hundreds of dollars for
Yes.
it. So by the time it gets to us, it's considered out of style. And
Mhm.
basically, it's been remanufactured and made
Right.
on a cheaper quality. So we
Right.
can make our own and then make it to the same quality as
Yeah.
it was when it was first introduced. So that's important to me. So if I can spend a little extra few seconds telling someone how to do something,
Mhm.
what I would like to term is correctly versus just creating something and putting it out there, then so be it.
Like you made that bench. I remember the bench.
My prayer bench.
Yes.
Mhm.
I remember the bench. I made one for my parents and it's in their room. I
Mhm.
made that for them and my dad loves it. So I was like, see, I learned something. I did something.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm encouraged to keep going. I am.
Well, Cathryn, I know you said you couldn't be here that long. So I want to thank you so much for appearing today. I
Okay.
really
So
enjoyed being
so
here.
do me a favor. Since
Yes.
I'm on here,
Mm-hmm.
and it is 7:27. And if you have time, does anybody have any questions?
Yes. Does anyone have any questions for Cathryn? She says she loved your real post and furniture videos.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Does anyone have any questions?
Okay, no questions.
Questions going once? Oh, who'd she say?
Vivica, my
Yes.
girl.
Yes. How you
Lady, oh,
doing,
she has an
girl?
amazing listen, she's redoing her kitchen. Y'all
I
got to get
know
over
it.
there.
It's beautiful.
Y'all have
Oh,
got to she
y'all
is
have to
doing
see
her
it.
kitchen, and I watched it at like, I don't know, 3 o'clock this morning. So my hours are strange. Vivica, that kitchen is
Oh,
fire.
isn't it?
Honey, the faucet, the
Oh,
the, the hardware, you are killing it.
and when
And
she
I'm
put those
telling you,
cabinets together, I was like, get it, girl. Get it.
listen, I don't know who's out there and where you play this on repeat. Please subscribe to her channel.
Yes.
Please subscribe to her channel. I mean, she's thrifty as all get out, and she's giving you a wealth of information, and she's very entertaining. Please subscribe to her
Yes.
channel. Please do.
Okay, we have a question. What are your plans after your baby boy flies the nest?
To create the empty nest haven. They're out of here. If I could stand up right now and get away from the mic, you might see me kicking my foot out. I've got one son, my baby boy, he travels, so he's in a different state or country every single, you're right, girl. You are one of the
You
best.
are one of the best.
um, he travels, so he's home, like I said, a few days of the month. And my goal is to get him prepared to get out. I want my baby to launch and launch properly. But the message is just as an empty nester, now I can do me. My responsibilities of
Yes.
raising boys, it's my time now. So I
Yes.
might take you all back out there to just go walking with me and put it all on this channel, blog a few days and DIY a few days. But now I feel like the house belongs to me and my husband. So we can
Right.
couple in it, if you know what I mean.
Yes. I understand totally because we are empty nesters.
Hmm.
Our youngest she's 24.
Hmm.
Our youngest. Combined, we have 6 kids together. And
Hmm.
our youngest is 24 and the oldest she just turned 35.
Uh-huh.
So all of ours are gone. All of them except for 2 have their masters.
There you
So we're
go.
proud of all of them. And I know I need to get out there back walking. I told myself I was going to get back and walk
Well, I
because
met with the dietitian and I got it all laid out. I said, I'm going to do what you said, do. I'm not going to
yes,
get this
I have
next.
to.
I'm going to do exactly what you say, do, and just work it out. So I ordered a treadmill that's downstairs, leaning on the front door as we speak. I ordered this belt that put around my stomach and vibrate my muscle.
Yes.
Okay, we're going
Have
to see
you
how
seen
that
the
works
one
out.
that they put on with the little string and stone that you like a hula hoop thing?
No, this is like a belt, and then you press the button, and it just,
Or that one that just vibrates?
pulsates. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we're gonna see now.
right.
I'm kind of nervous about it. So I already told my husband, be on standby. I don't want to be up here shocking myself and you downstairs and don't know I'm laying up here on the floor bouncing around the office. So, so be mindful of that.
I told my husband that I was going to start back walking. And just as I got my schedule together,
Mhm.
my father calls me and I have to run up there. We have to call the ambulance and rush him to the hospital. They're releasing him
Mhm.
today. My sister's picking him up right now.
Mhm.
He's been in the hospital since Friday morning.
Mhm.
His blood pressure shot up through the
Mm.
roof. So I go
Wow.
in between my parents and my husband.
Okay.
Him just having surgery and the issues that went on with surgery. The anesthesia and the pain medicine shut down all his organs. So
Wow.
everything had to restart again. And I'm taking care of him, my mom with dementia, and then my father.
Help
I
for
feel very
Jesus.
about him. So I go in a circle.
Okay.
And
Okay.
my
We're going to be praying for you
thank
because
you.
in we're gonna be praying for because in the midst of all of that, you need to take care of you,
That's what
and
my kids
having that
said.
and having that vitiligo. We already know that the stress level can
Yes.
engage it and cause it to totally reverse the progress that you've made. So
Yes.
it's so important that you pause and set aside your 6 hours where it's all about you. You
She
know,
says she hopes to hear updates about that belt.
girl, I don't know now. That or an ambulance ride with it, but we shall see. All right.
Oh
Well,
goodness.
I'm gonna leave, and but I do want to say this for you YouTubers, whether you hear this on repeat or whatever it is, make sure you subscribe to Stephanie's channel.
Thank
Make
you.
sure that if you are starting a channel and you are doing what you want to do, be encouraging of other channels that are out
Yes.
there, because what goes around always comes back around. Love on your sisters on this platform. Love on anyone that you see has a craft or talent that is doing something. And if they are giving you 60 seconds of inspiration, what does it hurt to hit the subscription button?
Yes.
And whether you
And I
turn on a
always say give a thumbs up.
and
Always.
do that, because we are very few. When you look at the Jackie Idas, and I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, when you look at some of the YouTubers that have millions of subscribers,
Mm-hmm.
they will tell you it was a struggle and
Yes.
how much money they had to invest to get to that point, with outside services, just because we weren't very supportive. So when you look at a Jackie and then you see her equivalent, and he or she may have 17 million,
Mm-hmm.
why is that such a wide margin?
Yes.
And we're over on the other side. So just make sure that you're supporting your own, because what comes around comes all the way back around, and you want that love and support. Writing to me and
Yes.
saying, how did you do this and how did you do that? I love on everybody. That's all I can say, is I just love on everybody. And
Yes.
so I want it reciprocated. I went to sleep one night after doing a DIY, and I just threw it out there, and I woke up the next day with 15,000 subscribers. I was like, what in the world? And I didn't even know that transition had happened, because I had just gotten so used to producing.
Right.
And Tamala emailed me and said, look at your DIY. Look at your channel. You just got 15,000 subscribers from a DIY.
Wow.
And like today, it is different. You
Yes.
can get all of these views today. You can get hundreds and thousands of
Mm-hmm.
views, but the subscriptions won't be there. So
Right.
that is greatly impacted by the technology that is used to watch these channels. I mean, you've got streaming platforms, so the subscription button isn't readily available. So
Right.
excuse me, they have to go onto the YouTube platform. Hi,
Yes.
designers love. Hey. So you have to go onto the YouTube platform and
Yes.
hit the subscription button to say, I like that person's content. I know I'm being a little fussy about this, and I may not get another chance to be fussy, but I'm saying this for the love of the talent that is out there, that is under the radar. So
Yes.
we got to be intentional about stepping it up, pressing the button, show some love, and then expect the favor to return.
Right.
And also the last thing I want to say, see, I know you didn't let me see, this is not your question, but I'm saying it anyway.
Go ahead, girl.
Don't allow this platform to be your only source of income. Please don't do that. You're going to get so frustrated that you don't have it coming in as fast as you
Hmm.
thought. I've seen so many YouTubers who just
Yes, I
resign from
did.
the platform
Yeah.
because they're like, well, we're not making any money. And they get on and do the last video, which is really kind of sad that we're not making any money. It's
Hmm.
a waste of time. Well, and I'm like, I'm looking at 30,000 subscribers. You had your audience. You're walking away
Yes.
now.
Right.
Maybe just re-examine and how you're going to redefine the channel, because they
Right.
want to grow with you versus you departing. Now you're just leaving them.
Right.
They're wanting to grow with you. Your relationship with them was that they related to you. So the other thing is to find something to take you off this platform, or
Right.
shall I say, best said, to work along with this platform. If it's something
Hmm.
that you're doing that is special, then launch with it. It's your product. Don't just be on here just producing and producing and producing and people loving it, and then you're mad at the subscription level that's not honoring your labor. So just make sure that you are finding some way to double your income away from this platform where you're not
Right.
having to be overly committed. That's your Jackies and that's your other big channels, because they found a way to launch a brand. So
That's the
that's all I
truth.
want to say.
Well, I thank you so much, Cathryn.
Okay.
I am so honored
It's a
that you agreed
blessing.
to come on the show today.
My pleasure.
Um, I really have been looking forward to this.
I'm
Like
mad
I
at you. You
said,
didn't send any questions in advance, but okay.
I said I wanted to get you off guard. I didn't
You
want to
did. You
have
did.
you know the questions and be prepared with answers.
You did. You
She
did.
says, "Wow, that was deep, Cathryn."
I'm not deep. Love you, Fuganista. Love you,
Yeah.
baby girl. All right, guys. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for coming. And you guys, thank you for showing up for tonight's show. I will see you next week. Love you all.
Bye bye.